How did it come to this?
Let me go!
Lay your hands off me!
Let me go!
You brute!
Please, I beg you!
How did joyous cheers and beautiful songs give way to such deafening howls of anguish?
Take all you can carry! Strip these Greeks of their decadent dwellings!
Look at them. Deprived of their humanity, they ravaged this holy city in pursuit not only of gold, but even copper and trinkets.
Tear those pagan statues down! Tear it all down! You, get over here and help me! What are you doing? Put that stuff down! Come on!
Ancient statues, fragments linking us with great ancestors from a time long gone. Works of art exemplifying beauty and triumph, chopped up and shoved into furnaces. The air so thick with smoke that you can taste the metal. Are these truly the same men with whom I took the cross? The one who exalted my name and sacrificed so much to get here? Now they suffocate in sin. With blood-stained hands they will never be cleansed. Not that I have any claim to innocence. They may have fired a crossbow, but it was me who placed the bolt there. No, I cannot let this stand. I must reverse the fruits of my labor, change its course. Please, Lord, I beg of you, banish me from this purgatory and grant me the chance to undo this nightmare, to go back and start anew. What if we were to diverge from the sea route? What if we never embark on the journey to the Altremer at all? What if What if
The unending river of time we call history rarely fits into chapters, but the year of 1199 surely provided one of these exceptions. On April 6th, after enduring his father, his brother, Salah ad-Din, and a cold prison cell, Richard the Lionheart died at the hands of his favorite weapon. His campaign had managed to prevent utter annihilation of the crusader states, but failed to reconquer Jerusalem itself. The Angevin Empire was at the brink, the Holy Roman Empire and Ayyubid Sultanate in succession crisis, and amidst all of this chaos, the echo of yet another crusader call was ringing to deaf ears. Innocent III was only a year into his pontificate and already full of ideas. However, none of the kings, none of the princes, not even a single duke, was willing to take them seriously. His last hope dwelled in a constellation of counts who had conveniently assembled for a tournament at the castle of Acre. It was here where history would find its new chapter.
Welcome all to Acre. It is with great honor and boundless joy do I gaze upon your faces. We convene here on St. Catherine's Day to bear witness to feats of grandeur and prowess. Therefore, it befits us to speak a few words about one of our most precious martyrs, a princess of a distant realm known as Alexandria, who willingly opened her heart to the Lord. She stood accused by a pagan emperor who summoned 50 scholars to engage her in a contest of wits. But Catherine's words moved and even converted many of them. Even the emperor's wife personally came to see this woman, and the emperor, smitten, sought her hand in marriage, and when she declined, he decreed her to be bound to a breaking wheel. With but a single touch, the device shattered into countless fragments. Her fingers, one of the most prized relics in Christendom, can still be found not too far from hence at Rouen. But it is not their explosive power that we should aspire to. but of Catherine's brilliant mind and her devotion. Some of you are still bow-legged by this long ride, so I won't burden thee with lengthy discourse. In the days henceforth, you will find solace in warm beds, dark wine, ripe fruits, and a lavish feast. We shall partake in chivalrous combat featuring duels, melees, and archery contests. Champions will be heralded, spoils will be seized, and the woes of the moons gone by can for at least a fleeting moment be cast aside. Let the young Seor commence!
Tournament culture finds its roots in the densely populated and exceedingly prosperous regions of northern France, serving as a dual purpose, a source of both amusement and martial training. This particular tournament adhered to tradition, attracting not only renowned knights, but also lesser nobles and gentlemen to its lists. Much like the fierce battles on the field of war, the primary objective here was to overpower one's adversary and compel them to yield. Subsequently, the vanquished would ransom themselves, offering up silver, armor, weapons, and steeds to their captors as recompense. Though the weapons wielded were blunted, the tournament grounds still bore witness to frequent injuries, maiming, and even fatalities amongst the knights. It was due to these grim consequences that the church held the practice in disdain, vehemently denouncing it. The Pope went so far as to prohibit the proper Christian burial for the fallen. Nevertheless, participants willingly paid a substantial entry fee to engage in events such as one-on-one combat within the tournament brackets. In this particular year, 4 exceptionally skilled combatants earned their place in the semifinals.
Lords and ladies, noble patrons of this grand tournament, as the sun sinks low and casts its golden glow upon these hallowed grounds, we stand at the precipice of glory! The time has come for the clash that will echo throughout the annals of history. Are you prepared to witness a spectacle of unmatched valor and skill? Finalists, stand you ready! Begin! Send him back to the mud, Lord Blois!
Time for real battle!
You've never seen a battlefield, boy.
Fight, Louis! We can't best you!
You wouldn't even be here if Theobald wasn't your cousin.
I'll have your brother bury you!
Christ himself guides the mace of Montfort.
Who's... boy! Now!
Let's strike, Lord boy.
Lords and ladies, our champion has been crowned! Sir Louis, the Bulwark of Blois!
Just look at them. All of that fury and bravado. To pin all of your anxieties on a target and just wail away at it. Behind a veneer of pleasantries and rituals, there resides a profound madness within every man. Observing them be purged of it truly is a sight to behold. If I only could have a taste of it, even for just one bout.
I will graciously curtsy, wear uncomfortable dresses, and even learn this wretched dialect. But in return, I will have demands of my own. After all, I don't think avoiding mindless violence is too much to ask, is it? You have a higher calling now, my beloved, and I have peeked inside the depths of your soul, finding no madness therein.
Cousin, competition is gonna be stale, isn't it?
And there's our glorious champion. Your hammer brought me 100 marks, my old friend.
Ha, 'tis not the hammer, but the man who wields it, Theo. Will you be joining the melee, or have you taken up archery?
Congratulations on your victory, Lord Blois. My husband and I shall endeavor to find you more worthy foes next year.
The southern flower blooms as brightly in the cold as she did at the wedding, I see. Thank you, my lady, but I highly doubt it. Both John and Philippa forbade tournaments. Shameful, simply shameful. A youth must have seen his blood flow, felt his teeth crack under his adversary's blows, and been thrown on the ground 20 times. Only then will he be able to face a real war. Both kings preach their sermons and side with the church, but when the time comes, they'll be waging war with boys instead of men.
I am afraid I must stand vigil by my wife's side, you see. She's ever so curious about our ways. Every time we see a banner, she requests a story about its family. I do, however, hope to see you on the hunt tomorrow.
I knew it! This beauty will make an archer out of you yet, cousin. I will be there, but first I must defend my title. Good health to you newlyweds.
For 3 days, the tourney grounds were filled with events that ignited people's imagination. Wine flowed from the barrels, and the merchants made new customers at the backdrop of this grand spectacle. But on the third day, November 28th, 1199, on that fertile and bloody soil, a seed would sprout, giving birth to a completely different kind of adventure. Folk of Neuilly, an eloquent priest known to gather large crowds with his condemnation of clergy and nobility alike, now took the stand at the behest of Pope Innocent III. The allure of Altremer beckoned, and the daydream of Jerusalem flashed before the eyes of young knights, so many of whom lost their fathers in the Third Crusade less than a decade ago. Faith, sin, power, legacy, glory were all at stake. By the time that speech was over, almost every member of the crowd was fixated on powerful imagery, visions and promises so strong that, like many before them, they would mortgage their estates, sell their jewels, forsake their families, and delve into the unknown. Young Lord Theobald was amongst the few who clinged on hesitation. Hoping to clear his head, he ventured into the nearby forest alongside his Marshal Joffrey, cousin Louis, and honorable guest Simone de Montfort.
Such joy! Such jubilation! I'm blessed to partake in this moment with you, brothers. For many moons, I have beseeched the heavens, seeking an answer to the riddle before me. Which banner should I lead my family to in this fratricidal war? O Lord God, thy grace has conducted us unto the true path, one that leads to the sacred lands of the Savior.
The path is laid before us, but we are still in want of a shepherd. Both kings covet that meager parcel known as Vexin, and I would never follow any emperor, lest I was looking for a puddle to drown in.
I cannot speak for Jean Santerre, but Philippe I know well, and one cannot hope for a more devout monarch. There exists no more esteemed parcel than that on which Jerusalem stands, and once he returns victorious, his dominion will be unquestioned.
Many are the plans in the mind of a man, but it is the purpose of the Lord that will stand. The decision has already been ordained. We need only stand ready for its revelation.
Folk came to your court, not Paris. I would follow you to the end of the earth, little cousin.
Then maybe it is I who should journey to Paris and bear the tidings. This call, it's different. At its very inception, the pontiff is delegating the hierarchical structure of...
My Lord Theobald!
You get the priest, Joffrey. He'll know what to do.
Priest be damned, I'm getting the physician. He needs to be leeched immediately.
Do no such thing. Instead, make yourself useful. Give me your tunic. We need to bandage the wound.
It stings!
Nothing some wine can't fix. Now you stay upright and try not to move it, okay?
Where did you learn all of this?
You would not care to know. Hold him while I fetch some water. I'm not losing my friend over a viper. Geoffrey, bring me the snake. We need to rub its body on the wound before it starts to swell.
Yes, my lord.
You leave my gaze but for a mere moment, and then this is how I find you? I'm not raising this child alone, my love.
Pardon me, I truly am lost without you. You are what tethers me to reality. Yet even now, as I gaze upon your beautiful face, I
will mend your wound and share your burdens, for they are also mine. Though, I detect that more than mere venom vexes you.
Am I so easy to decipher, or are you as cunning as you are gorgeous? Oh, very well. You've earned your confession. My mind and spirit are sorely shaken by all this. The roaring crowd, villeins and gentry alike, want to take the cross, many of whom beseech me to show them the way. But I'm no champion like Louis. I don't know how to bandage a wound or lead an army. I'm no strategist like Philip, and I do not possess a lion's heart. It cannot be me. I must pray and hope that God will help me to find the words that will convince August. He must be the one who conducts this great mission.
You have illuminated my path, and many others. Can't you see how many already pledged their swords and lives to this cause, with you as their leader? Fine. Then just know that they and I will happily tread in your footsteps, even if they lead to the court of the foul Philippe. We could even join him for Christmas in Paris. Just promise me, Theo. Promise me that no matter where this stream flows, that you will not allow me to end up in a gilded cage. We have exchanged solemn vows, and I shall not abandon your sight.
I would never let Philip touch you. But if you wish to take the cross you know how barons feel about, of Louis and Eleanor.
No baseless rumor shall stand between us, and their bond was sounded long even before they left.
Then so be it. You have my solemn oath, my love.
In the days that followed, the celebrations transitioned from the tourney grounds to the castle bailey, and the guests exchanged their swords and axes for forks and knives. Courage and announcements flared up as men began to boast about their future achievements. Even a small brawl broke out after two knights argued over who would be the first to breach the walls of Jerusalem. As the festivities drew to a close, every man in attendance swore the pilgrim's vow, and Theobald pledged that he would approach King Philip. From the Latin word for cross, crux or cruxus, a new term was coined just over a century ago, as the men who took these vows and pinned a cross on their shoulder started to be called crucitorum, or crucifer. Today we recognize them as crusaders. It was on that cold December evening, amidst the candlelight, that a new crusader movement was born.